Greetings everyone, Slizzle466 here, and in today's video we're looking at some of the best wild heroic Brawliseum decks for you to try and get 12 wins with. We're going to start off with Druid, looking at a Reno Druid list. So this is a 40 card Reno or XL Druid, and if you have a little scroll through here, it's quite unique. It's got your typical Druid things. The Sir Finley's nice to get a new hand. Speaker Gidra's kind of interesting. That's one you don't typically see in Reno Druid. You know, you got your typical techs, your Theatar. Spammy Arcanist is a great board clearer. And then we have the big dragon top end here. We've got the triple Alex Straza. So Denathrius, not a dragon, but just want to mention it. But yeah, Reno Druid's pretty good actually. But if this is not a sort of deck you already play on ladder, might be a little risky to queue up, considering it's 1,000 gold to play the mode. Beast Hunter. Beast Hunter has been shown to be pretty solid in Wild. It does have a bit of a learning curve though, so a bit of a warning there. It's a solid tier 2 deck though, very good. And you can get a lot of wins out of nowhere and really surprise your opponent. There's also a Reno Hunter list that has had success. So this is a beast version of Reno Hunter. So basically, if you think of the Beast Hunter we just saw, this is kind of a Reno version of it. Obviously not as good. But if you like playing Reno Hunter, you're comfortable with the archetype, then you could give this one a spin in the Brawl if you wanted to. Moving on to Mage. So this is one of the best decks to try and get 12 wins with. Quest Mage, solid list. Ice Block's annoying. Commander Sivara gives you more ice blocks if you need them. But the big thing is you get your quest done. You got the Time Warp. You play parrots. You bounce the parrots. And you get lots and lots of extra turns. Pretty obnoxious. Also combo with Bran to get more turns. Our Secret Mage, I'm surprised this showed up as a 12-win deck. I don't think it's that great. Sometimes I play it and it goes really well. Other times I play it and it's awful. So I'm really on the fence about this one, but I want to mention it because it did have success. The list, yeah. So this, I mean, it's pretty solid. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, and I like how this list has Fireball. Some lists don't. This list is also running both the Alaneth and the Sage, which I don't think I've seen that before. It's not running the card to tutor out the weapon. I guess it doesn't really need it. But if you want to play Mage, this is a good way to do it. But Quest Mage is significantly better. Moving over to Priest, there's only one Priest list here, and I understand why. While Big Priest is a good and annoying deck, it is a high roll deck, and the last thing you want to do going into the Brawliseum is blowing 1,000 gold and trying to high roll. It's very dangerous, and so I think Reno Priest is a much better option. We're looking at a 40 card variant of Reno Priest. This is a very highly refined list. It will not just work in the Brawl, it'll also work on the Wild ladder as well. In fact, most of these decks will. But this list is just solid. It's running all the good cards. It is running a Murloc Holmes, which obviously, as you can see, I haven't tried myself. So that's not one I typically see in Reno Priest. So if you don't have this card, just throw in something else, you'll be okay. But otherwise, the Blackwater Behemoth is just wins games. Like, even if a lot of the time you don't even need the Rouser Anduin. Like, sometimes you just shove that out against aggro and you win on the spot. The Psychic Scream and the Soul Mirror are great. Just a solid list. And again, it's a Shadow Priest version as well. So you've got the more aggressive hero power, good for board control, things like that. Moving on to Rogue, it's quite a lot of Rogue actually. First of all, we got Mine Rogue. For those of you not familiar with Mine Rogue, you play the Mine, deals 4 damage to the enemy hero, but then you've got things like Snowfall Graveyard, the death rattles trigger twice. You got the Nathria Blade that triggers the death rattles. You can also aim backstabs at the mines and just do a lot of damage out of nowhere. It also runs Edwin. As you can see, I haven't recrafted my Edwin yet. But Edwin's still really good in this deck, even as a 4 mana 4/4 instead of a 3 mana 3/3. Again, you don't really care much about the body here, though the body is nice. It's all about just drawing through your deck, getting everything you need to do a lot of damage to your opponent's face. Edwin Rogue, again, Edwin's fine. Edwin's a good card. It should never have been 3 mana. At 4 mana, it's still really good. So this is the tempo list. You do a lot of quirky things. You can make giant Edwins one way, or giant Edwins another way, or you could make giant weapons if you wanted to, or you could pull out giant stealth ghosts. So there's a lot of options where you play a whole boatload of stuff in a turn, get a big minion or get a big weapon, depending on the situation. And the last rogue deck here is Pillager Rogue. Pillager Rogue is really solid. Again, it's got a bit of a learning curve, but you can just scam wins out of nowhere if you're good with this archetype. You've also got ways to, I think there are some ways to survive in this build or not. Some people like to run like evasions and things. This one's not. I don't know if that's right or wrong. But yeah, you can OTK very quickly. Just lots of damage out of nowhere. Moving on to Shaman, we have Shadowwalk Shaman. This list, I think someone actually asked me to play this on ranked on my stream because the list looks really familiar. These are the Murloc heavy lists, so they run a lot of Murlocs, but you've got the Clownfish to reduce the cost, the Scar Guild to reduce the cost. So it's okay having that so many Murlocs in the list. The Geist, I don't know about the Geist. I don't know how that would help you in this meta. I guess against Quest Mage it's okay. But Questline Hunter isn't a thing anymore. So yeah, this is literally a deck that was just like, this was just ripped off ranked mode. I really like the Sir Denathrius in the list. It's really good. When I did play this list, I think I went 3-0 on stream. But again, that was on ladder, not in the Brawliseum. But this list is solid. The only card I question is the Geist. But I guess if everyone's just jamming Quest Mage, it's pretty good. Then you got Even Shaman. Even Shaman, solid list. This is my go-to list to climb with on the Brawliseum. I've only played a couple runs myself. Sadly, I only got 6 wins. I got some really weird matchups. But I'm going to go for 12. I've got a few runs left with my gold, and a kind viewer donated me some money to do some Brawliseum, so I appreciate them very much. You know who you are. But yeah, Even Shaman is pretty solid. The only card I don't like in this list, and this is just me, I really don't like Cage Match Custodian. And so on one of my 6-win runs, again it's 6 wins. 6 wins you like break even. You basically get 1,000 gold worth of stuff with 6 wins. Like you'll get 7 packs, 250 gold, 250 dust roughly. It's good, still good value. But I don't like the Custodian, so I swapped mine out for the Merc Spark Eels. But maybe you don't like that. It's up to you. Maybe you want to put in the Evil Totem. It's a good one too. Yeah, but yeah, this is the only card I'm not a fan of in this list. Otherwise, it's pretty solid. To finish up, we've got a couple of Warlock decks. We've got a Reno Warlock. I would be aware of this list only because Dr. Light is an excellent player in Wild. Always top high legend, playing mostly Reno decks, but also like Shadowwalk Shaman, Big Shaman, things like that. This list is definitely good, and I'm not going to go through it card by card because there's just too much going on here. You've got Curse of Agonies, things like that. But it's a solid list. If you are a big fan of Reno Lock, definitely give this one a spin. I see a Lord Jiraxis in here as well, which is interesting. But maybe give this a couple runs on the wild ladder first to see if it's the deck for you. And if you feel it's not, maybe don't spend that 1,000 gold on the Brawliseum. I'm very tempted to do it myself though, just because I enjoy playing Reno Lock. So we'll see. We'll see. And last but not least, we have Curse Warlock. I am well overdue for a Curse Warlock video on this channel, I know. I just haven't had time to learn this archetype properly, but a ton of people are getting 12 wins with Curse Warlock. A lot of standard players are coming over and playing Curse Warlock because I think it's kind of okay over in standard. But basically the curse comes from these Curse of Agonies, whether it's the ones that put fatigue or the ones that shove stuff into your opponent's hand. So it basically just does the thing that Warlock does best. You've also got some giants in here because why not? But it's a very solid list from what I've seen from people's success, and definitely better than Reno Lock. But again, learning curve. Just beware. You might need to practice a couple games first. So there you go, 13 decks to play around with if you're brave enough to take on the Heroic Brawliseum. You'll find all the deck codes in the description below. And if you are a mobile user or having trouble copying those deck codes, there is an easy to enter link to my Discord. Visit the Decklist Only channel. You'll find all these decks there. If you want to help support this channel, you can click the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and until next time, hope to see you again.